Hello, welcome to Mind IS. In the previous video, we have discussed how East India Company led by Robert Clive defeated Siraj-ud-Daulah in the Battle of Plassey with the help of treacherous Mir Zafur. In this video, we will discuss about Battle of Buxar. Now, when was Battle of Buxar fought? It was fought on October 22, 1764. Where was it fought? As the name suggests, in Buxar, in present day Bihar. Now, between whom it was fought? It was fought between East India Company on one side. Who was the commander of East India Company? Led by Hector Munro. And the combined forces of Mir Qasim. Who was Mir Qasim? He was the incumbent Nawab of Bengal. Sujau-ud-Daulah. Who was Sujau-ud-Daulah? He was the Nawab of Awadh. And Shah Alam II. Who was Shah Alam II? He was the Mughal emperor. So it was fought between East India Company led by Hector Munro on one side and combined forces of Mir Qasim, Sujau-ud-Daulah and Shah Alam II. Now, who emerged victorious in the battle? East India Company emerged victorious. Now, how did Mir Qasim become an enemy of East India Company? We all know Mir Zafur plotted against the Siraj-ud-Daulah with the help of East India Company, and Mir Zafur was made the Nawab of Bengal. But after the Battle of Bedara, in which Mir Zafur plotted against the British with the help of Dutch, but he was defeated. After Mir Zafur, Mir Qasim became the next Nawab of Bengal in the year 1760. Now, we can say Mir Qasim was the most able successor of Alivardi Khan. So, of all the Nawab of Bengal, since Alivardi Khan, Mir Qasim was the most able successor. So, one of the reasons why he went against the East India Company can be able successor. Able successor. Now, he did not want to remain the puppet ruler of the East India Company. He wanted to emerge as an independent ruler. So we can also say against being a puppet ruler. East India Company or Patna East India officials were helping Ram Narayan, the deputy governor of Bengal, and Ram Narayan was against the Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim. So another factor why Mir Qasim went against the East India Company can be East India Company helping Ram Narayan, deputy governor of Bihar. Now, another factor, in the year 1762, Mir Qasim transferred the capital of Bengal from Murshidabad to Munger. So, 1762, capital shifted from Murshidabad to Munger. What can be another factor? And we can say the trigger factor or one of the most important factor was the Mir Qasim was opposing the rampant misuse of the trade privileges which is known as Dastak system by the East India Company in his own province. So, the immediate or trigger factor can be called as the opposition to the Dastak system. So, we can say these were the list of factors because of which Mir Qasim went against the East India Company and participated in the Battle of Buxar. Now, before Battle of Buxar, Mir Qasim fought a series of small battles with the British before fleeing to Awadh and forming a confederacy with Sujau-ud-Daulah and Shah Alam II. What were those battles? These were the battles: Battle of Murshidabad, Battle of Giriya, Battle of Suti, Battle of Katwa and Battle of Munger. So these were the series of battles fought by Mir Qasim. Next comes the result of Battle of Buxar. As we discussed earlier, the East India Company emerged victorious in the Battle of Buxar. Now, what was the significance or result? First, the East India Company was able to defeat the combined forces of Awadh, Bengal as well as the Mughal Emperor. So this made East India Company as a supreme power in northern India. So first we can consider it made them a supreme power in North India. Now Mir Qasim was removed from Nawab of Bengal post and Mir Zafur again became the next Nawab of Bengal. Who became the next Nawab of Bengal? Mir Zafur since 1763. Now Mir Zafur gave the district of Bardwan, Chattagaon and Midnapur to the British. He also allowed duty-free access or trade permit to the British. So, Dastak system prevailed. Allowed. Robert Clive signed the Treaty of Allahabad, one with the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II and another with the Nawab of Awadh, Sujauddaulah. So, another result was the signing of Treaty of Allahabad in 1765, one with Shah Alam II and another with Nawab of Awadh. Now, under the first Treaty of Allahabad with Nawab of Awadh, what were the provisions made by Robert Clive? First, rupees 50 lakh has to be given by Nawab of Awadh as war damages. 50 lakh. Secondly, Allahabad, now Prayagraj, and Kara has to be given back to Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. What was the another features or provision of the treaty? Balwant Singh, the Zamindar of Banaras, was given back his estate. So these were the three terms of the treaty signed by Robert Clive on behalf of East India Company with Nawab of Awadh as part of Treaty of Allahabad. First, 50 lakh has to be paid to the East India Company as the damages for war. Secondly, Allahabad and Kara has to be given back to Shah Alam II, the Mughal Emperor. And thirdly, Balwant Singh, the Zamindar of Banaras, was given back his full area or state. Next, Robert Clive signed another treaty with Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II under the Treaty of Allahabad. So, under the Treaty of Allahabad, he signed another treaty with Shah Alam II. What were the provisions of those treaty? Firstly, Shah Alam II will now permanently live at Allahabad under East India Company protection. First, will move to Allahabad. Secondly, the East India Company secured the Diwani rights of Bihar, Bengal and Odisha in return of 26 lakh rupees per annum. So, Diwani rights of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. Now, what is Diwani right? Diwani rights means revenue, such as revenue collected, land revenue collected from the peasants. So, annual payment of 26 lakh per annum. Now, Shah Alam II was also asked to pay rupees 53 lakh to the East India Company for the Nizamat function. Now, what is Nizamat function? Nizamat function consists of maintaining law and order or expenses on police or judicial function. So please remember here two terms, Diwani and Nizamat. Diwani means civil or revenue administration. On the other hand, Nizamat means police, military, or judicial functions. So these were the various component or provision of Treaty of Allahabad signed in the year 1765 between Robert Clive on one side and Nawab of Awadh Sujauddaulah and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II on the other side. We know that Treaty of Allahabad was signed as a result of Battle of Buxar. Now, one of the important results of Battle of Buxar and Treaty of Allahabad was the introduction of dual government of Bengal. Now, what is dual government of Bengal? First, it was introduced in the year 1765. It was introduced after that, we know that Treaty of Allahabad. Now, where was it introduced? As the name suggests, Bengal. Who played an instrumental role in its introduction? Robert Clive. Robert Clive at that time was governor of Bengal. Now, what are the features? What were the features of dual government of Bengal? Under dual government of Bengal, we can say in one line, the East India Company had all the powers without any responsibility. Now, what does this mean? Now, we know that under Treaty of Allahabad, the company got Diwani rights of Bengal, Bihar and Odisha from Shah Alam II. So, what is Diwani rights? It means collection of revenue plus maintenance of civil administration. Civil administration. The Nizamat function was granted to the Nawab of Bengal. Now, what is Nizamat function? It is maintenance of law and order with the help of police plus administration of justice, judicial function plus criminal administration. Now, the company was granted the right to appoint Diwan for the collection of revenue. So, East India Company appointed Diwan for Bengal and for Bihar. For Bengal, he was Muhammad Reza Khan, and Diwan of Bihar was Raja Sitab Rai. We should know what was their purpose in collection of revenue for the East India Company. Now, it is to be noted again that the company also secured the Nizamat rights indirectly. How can we say that? The company was given the permission to appoint deputy subedar. And the function of deputy subedar is maintenance of law and order. Under this, the East India Company made Muhammad Reza Khan as deputy Nizam. Please note that. Clear? So, we can very well say that under dual of government of Bengal, the East India Company has all the powers without any responsibility. Now, let's take a look at the list of governors which was formed after the Battle of Plassey. So, we are discussing here list of governor posts of Bengal. First governor of Bengal was Robert Clive. Important, for example, please note that first governor. Next governor was Henry Vansittart. Henry Vansittart was followed by John Holwell. John Holwell. It is fascinating to note that in his brief governorship of Bengal, John Holwell has erected the Holwell Monument. Now, what was the purpose of Holwell Monument? It was erected in the memory of Black Hole tragedy case. Now, we have studied in the previous video the Black Hole tragedy case. We all know 123 soldiers of EIC, East India Company, died due to suffocation after the invasion or annexation of Fort William by Sirajuddaulah. So, this has implication in during the 1940s. when Subhash Chandra Bose, after the formation of Forward Bloc, campaigned against the removal of Holwell Monument. Clear? After John Holwell, next governor was Harry Vereslet. After Harry Vereslet, next governor of Bengal, John Cartier. And the last governor of Bengal and first governor general of Bengal was Warren Hastings. Please note again, important for exam, Warren Hastings was the last governor of Bengal and Robert Clive was the first governor of Bengal. Now, Warren Hastings also became the first Governor General of Bengal. The Governor General post of Bengal was created under Regulating Act of 1773. Similarly, we can also say William Bentinck became the last Governor General of Bengal and first Governor General of India. First Governor General of India. The post of Governor General of India was created under Charter Act of 1833. So we discussed a list of governors of Bengal created after the Battle of Plassey. So Robert Clive, first governor from 1757 to 60. Thus, in this video, we have discussed Battle of Buxar as well as names of governor important for exam. Thank you.